Hello everyone, and I welcome you back to a fresh video blog on the different facets of the financial worlds that I intend to unravel. आज मैं बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग टॉपिक पे बात करने जा रहा हूँ. Every individual investors wants to be rich, wants to create a legacy of wealth. How to go about it? I think I'll try and discuss the particular roadmap which by following which one can achieve that end goal. But before we proceed, guys, a simple request. Please subscribe to the channel so that all those video blogs reaches directly to your inbox. The entire agenda of this presentation is about finding those specific ideas that, in my opinion, will help us achieve the roadmap of creating that wealth. I shall also be showing you the data and facts which will prove to this particular point that if one follows these ideas, the end goal, that is achieving and creating that wealth, can very much well be achieved. So जब हम इक्विटी के बारे में बात करते हैं, there are different styles of investment that comes to our mind. Whether one should go into a large cap, whether one should go into a mid cap, whether one should go into a flexi cap, या हम international market में invest करें, or whether we should go directly into stocks. I think what it does at the end is that instead of giving us any specific ideas, it actually confuses and it provides entire clutter in our mind to how to take it forward. And in the end, we believe that at the click of this button, if there should be a genie that will come out of any particular chirag and fulfill our three wishes. Guys, in the real world, there's no genie out there. One has to actually slog our back and find the right path that one can lead across. There is a proper scientific process of investment that one needs to adhere to. One needs to do their own risk profiling. They need to do their goal planning, follow the asset allocation model, and then and there only one individual can achieve the legacy of creating and wealth. Before I further proceed, there is a small disclaimer. These ideas that I am talking across are in no way any investment recommendations. Every individual investor needs to do their own risk profiling and then see whether these kind of products suit into their scheme of things. So the couple of product ideas that I shall be talking across sticks to this basket of ETF. ETF is, in simple terms, is exchange traded fund. It's a basket where of close to about 35 odd stocks, and it trades on an exchange. Simple. It does all the auto rebalancing on its own, and the end investor, the only job of the end investor is to identify which ETF fits their scheme of things. That's the only thing that the investor needs to do, nothing else. So the first product idea that I believe in this ETF category is from the platter of ICICI Prudential, which is ICICI Prudential Nifty Low Volatility 30. As the name suggests of this particular ETF, the USP of this ETF is that it has a very low volatility compared to the other products that are available or compared to the index. This ETF consists of close to 30 odd stocks, and generally the quality of these stocks are of very high quality. The suitability factor. So if you guys recall, in the start of this presentation, I did talk across the scientific process of investment. Scientific process is nothing about trying to identify and trying to dig into the numbers why this particular product does scores compared to the other category of products. So if I have to talk across this particular ETF from ICICI Prudential, the first factor, which in my opinion is the volatility factor. As I have said, these ETF consist of the lowest volatility stocks out in the universe. When you compare it to the benchmark, which is BSE 100, there is no such parameter. The second point, which I believe again scores very high for this ETF, is the standard deviation. So standard deviation, in simple language, if I talk, is a measure which tracks what is the deviation in the performance of the underlying fund. As a thumb rule, the standard deviation should always be on a lower side. So as you can see, the standard deviation of the ETF of ICICI Prudential is close to about 16%, while the standard deviation of BSE is again close to about 21%. And the third factor, which I believe is very important, is the drawdown factor. Drawdown, in simple terms, what it does is that it tries to gauge the extent of the fall of a particular fund during correction times. So, for example, अगर आप 100 rupees invest करते हैं ICICI Prudential में and parallelly you invest 100 rupees in a BSE 100 kind of papers. So the current drawdown numbers of ICICI Prudential is close to about 21% and the respective category of BSE has a drawdown of 20% 28%. So which it means in simple layman is that your 100 rupees, if you have invested in ICICI Prudential, would have fallen by only 21 rupees or thereabout, while the 100 rupees investment in BSE 100 would have fallen by almost 28%. So the simple thumb rule again of gauging what is a better fund is that the drawdown should always be on a lower side compared to the other funds that you are following. The portfolio construct is also very amazing. I think this particular ETF has a very high bend towards consumer durable. As you can see, close to about 30% is into this space, followed by software and pharma respectively by 16% and 10%. So even in the consumer durable names, there are marquee names like Dabur India, Hindustan Unilever, which has established their business in the IT space. They have exposure towards TCS. So I think the portfolio construct just again provides you the conviction that the quality of the portfolio is very high, while the volatility of the underlying stocks are very low. This particular slide speaks across the performance of this particular ETF. This ETF came into existence somewhere around 2017. So the graph pertains to that kind of era from 2017 till YTD. The yellow line corresponds to the ICICI Prudential Nifty Low Volatility 30 ETF, while the blue line corresponds to the category. So as you can see from the year 2017 till date, this particular ETF ICICI has performed exceptionally well vis-a-vis the benchmark. And even when there was sharp correction, which was somewhere around March 2020, when the COVID scare came in India, if you can see by the sharp drop, even at those times, even in drawdown times, extreme correction, the ICICI Prudential had fallen less compared to the category. So I think just this graph just proves that even in extreme times, during extreme market correction, this particular fund will protect your downside. And the second product idea that I'll be talking is from the platter of Motilal Oswal. This is Motilal Oswal Nasdaq 100 ETF. And why I have selected this particular ETF? I think this particular fund has almost a zero correlation with Nifty. So imagine if the India market is not performing, while the global market is performing, and if you have an exposure to this particular kind of paper, your overall portfolio will still be in green. Secondly, this portfolio provides you a dollar hedge. What this means is that in the last 15-20 years, we have seen the rupee has depreciated. In 2002, 2003, the rupee was somewhere around trading around 42 against one single dollar. Aaj ki date mein, rupee is somewhere around 75-76. So every year we have seen a depreciation of rupee close to about 10%. So in portfolio levels, what this means that you get absolutely 10% positive, even if this portfolio has not performed anything. So I think that's a very big advantage. Further, this portfolio is very much biased towards technology, and during these COVID times, we have seen that how all technology-related companies have just zoomed up in their performances. Everyone is reliable on technology, and I think this is another reason one should look at this particular ETF. Talking across the suitability factor, I think stocks like Amazon, stocks like Facebook scores way ahead compared to all those stocks that are listed in India. And second, even the drawdown factor, I think this particular ETF has a drawdown ratio of close to about 20% vis-a-vis the benchmark of BSE 100, which is close to about 28%. So simply mean your 100 rupees, if there is a correction in the market, will only fall by 20 odd rupees in the ETF of Motilal Oswal Nasdaq 100, whilst a BSE 100 kind of paper will fall by 28 rupees. So again, the suitability factor scores very high in the scheme of things compared to other papers. As I've said, this portfolio has a much higher bias towards IT, which is shown by in the current construct, close to 48% is towards IT. There are marquee names like Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Tesla, Facebook that one can own through this portfolio. Currently, one share of Amazon is trading somewhere around $3,300 odd on US stock exchange. So in INR terms, it translates to about 2.5 lakh rupees. So if you want to own an Amazon, you have to actually shell out close to 2.5 lakh rupees. But the beauty of this product is that by just investing 10,000 or 15,000, you can own a pie of that stock of Amazon. And not only Amazon, you can own even Apple, you can own even Microsoft. So it ensures that that you get the best quality at the least. This particular page is again very important and sums up the entire reason why one should look across. हम जब भी इंटरनेशनल इन्वेस्टमेंट्स की बात करते हैं, वी ऑलवेज लुक अक्रॉस डिफरेंट एसेट क्लासेस आल्सो. सो एज इंडियंस, our first love is always towards gold. So what I've done is that I have tried to put on the performance comparison of both this fund and gold have from the year 2010, and I have assumed that if in the year 2010 one would have invested close to about 10 lakh rupees, what was the performance value as of now. The yellow line corresponds to the Motilal Nasdaq 100 ETF and the blue line corresponds to the gold value. So आप जैसा देख सकते हैं, barring couple of years in 2011 up to 2013, the gold has outperformed the Nasdaq ETF. But after 2013, there's an explosion in performance. Not even a single year you would have seen gold outperform. So currently, the 10 lakh value which you would have invested in 2010, if you had invested in Motilal Nasdaq 100 ETF, this value would have been grown to 98 lakh rupees. While the similar 10 lakh value in gold as of now would be standing close to about 26 lakh rupees. So that's an outperformance of close to about 273%, guys. 273. This is huge. It's actually very huge. Even talking across the CAGR return, the last 10-11 years, the fund has delivered consistently around close to 25%. I think this page just sums up the reason why one should have this particular kind of ETF in one portfolio. कितना income tax देना पड़ेगा? What is the taxation gains that one needs to pay in both these papers? So to sum it out, I think I'll just make a small slide. So ICICI Prudential Nifty ETF falls into the equity taxation category, and any gains post 12 months will attract 10% taxation, while any gains which are less than 1 year will qualify under short-term capital gains, and you will have to pay tax at the rate of 15%. While on the other hand, the Motilal Oswal Nasdaq 100 ETF falls under the debt fund of fund category, wherein the long-term capital gains holding period is in excess of 3 years, that is 36 months. So any gains realized after 3 years, you will have to pay tax at the rate of 20% after claiming the indexation benefit, while any short-term gains in less than 36 months, all those gains will be added to the SSC income and the tax will be charged accordingly. I think both these strategies are the ideal strategies for any individuals or beginners who are thinking of to start their equity investment. I think in my opinion, there are no other ways to look at these particular funds to start off with. You can even look at these particular funds to start with any lump sum amount or any staggered amount through the form of SIPs. I think it also, both these ETFs takes away the human risk. So any biases of any fund managers towards any sectors, because it does auto rebalancing on its own, just takes away any human risk. And last, the expense factor is also very important. These ETFs have a very low expense structure. So I think all in all, I think these are the best products one should look across and one should have in their portfolio. So that will be all from my guys. Thank you for being a patient listener, and do subscribe this video and also put in your comments about how you like the video. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you.